In today's episode, we're going to talk about a film called Jack Frost in 1997, a 1 hour and 29-minute comedy fantasy horror, released November 18th, 1997. Storyline: after an accident that left murderer Jack Frost dead in a genetic material, the vengeful killer returns as a murderous snowman to exact his revenge on a man who sent him to be executed. Directed by Michael Keaton. Written by Jeremy Page, Michael Keaton. Here's the cast. Scott MacDonald as Jack Frost. Christopher Allport as Sam. Stephen Mendel as Agent Manners. F. William Parker as Paul Davro. Eileen Seeley as Anne. Rob LaBelle as Stone. Zach Egginton as Ryan Tiller. Jack Linline as Jack Menser. And Kelly Jean Peters as Sally. And the cast goes on. Folks, I can remember trying to watch this movie back in 98 or 99, and I just couldn't get myself to go through it. Now, almost 26 years later, being that I started my podcast on films just like this in in 2010, so I went back to watch it today, to give it a watch again. Once again, even in 1997, this movie was a little bit ahead of its time. What I mean is, if you compare this movie to Ginger Dead Man, it's almost the same aspect to a point. But with Ginger Dead Man, the technology was a little bit better. Here, it wasn't quite there, so it looked kind of corny at times. I mean, think about it. So, Jack Frost, getting executed, gets in a car accident, he flies out of the truck, he lands on the snow, of course, and then something explodes, and he was sprayed with stuff. And he ended up being killed, but he ended up going into the snow. So now he's the snowman killer. Not only that, he can melt and go into places and so forth. And he has ice sickles to kill people. The movie is very, very silly. So I'm glad they used the word comedy, because you really have... It's hard to take this movie seriously because of what he tried to do in that era. Now, I'm pretty sure it was cooler back then than it is now. But once again, some movies change in time. Some movies doesn't do any good of going back, going into time. But this movie is watchable. So you have Jack Frost as a snowman going around killing people to get to the sheriff who had him executed. That's the bottom line of this story. Some of the kills are pretty cool, and how they had to kill him was very unique. Antifreeze. But other than that, it's all for the matter of faint of heart. If you can watch this and deal with it, great. I did. I enjoy it. It has that mid-90s feel, low budget. Maybe it wasn't low budget. Just at the time, they couldn't make a snowman like that. Other than the comedy one that came out in 98, that was a little bit different because he had more money. So that being said, if you have not seen this, hey, don't hesitate. It's a fun watch. Jack Frost, 1997. Once again, there's a scene in the movie in the beginning where the one kid was bullying the sheriff's son. The snowman pushes him down and a sled cuts his head off. Some cool stuff like that. So definitely check it out. This is Gruesome Herzog. I give this movie a 6.5 out of 10, above average, and it's watchable. This is Gruesome Herzog, and I'm out of here.